20 teachers who taught.
Slapping on some toes.
Did somebody just subscribe in a time that I was like, wow, saltiest legend? What a wonderful way to be interrupted. Thank you for the subscription. That's going into the YouTube video, so congratulations. Oh boy. Here's hoping that the desktop audio isn't too loud. Let me readjust that. And then I'm gonna try to also restart this video. You try hard, alright? Wow. Special shout out to him. Well, thank you for the cheer. Wow. Let's go. Let's go. Let's go. Oh my god. 20 teachers who taught criminals, according to Reddit. For this entry, number 20 has been deleted, so I'm going to read 21, and if you guys are interested, then I'll actually dive into some of the deleted entries and see what the hell people wrote. Number 21 here reads, when I was a student teacher, I taught the younger of the Boston Bomber brothers. To be honest, I barely remember him. Well, damn, baby.
Love you, Daddy.
Well, I love you too, Joe. What the fuck? Yo! Michael Palermo. I'm so sorry. What the fuck? Yo, Michael, what are you trying to do to me, man? You know I didn't wear diapers for this fucking stream, all right? So I'm not prepared for all of this, okay? Maybe I need to, go get something to. Oh my god. Woo! This guy's gonna create a criminal tonight out of me. Oh boy. Thank you, Michael. Michael, what do you want, Michael? Well, Michael should just commandeer this list. This list can be whatever Michael wants it to be about. Okay. Wow, Michael. Oh my lord. This is quite a way to start, man. This isn't professional, but how can it be when my man Michael out here in the streets? Michael Palermo was a mod on YouTube, so he should be a mod here too. Where's his name? There we go. So there it is. And there it goes. Enjoy that. Enjoy that. I appreciate you. Jesus Lord. I'm going to try to pretend, even though, look, okay, my Lord. Michael, tell me what you want. You're going to get it. Let's push on with this list, though, of 20 teachers who taught criminals. For the sake of clarity, the question that's asked right now is teachers who taught future murderers and major criminals. What were they like, if you could glean anything from their personalities, etc.? Number 21 on this list says, when I was a student, I taught the younger of the Boston Bomber brothers, the kids who bombed. I feel like the music's loud. Let's go ahead right there. That's got to be better. Drunk Monkey says, do a unique voice for every entry. Oh, man. Talk about a list that you're trying to make this a list that other people are not going to be able to enjoy, my man. If that's what you want. Oh, boy. Okay. If this is what he wants, let's get through this first one. To be honest, I barely remember him. When the news broke, I had to go back and check an old spreadsheet in my laptop to make sure it was actually him. He was only a freshman at the time. I would say he's a little quiet, but nothing out of the ordinary. Well. So, this is what he is requesting here. Look, guys, I want you to weigh in on how great of an idea you think this is. Maybe you can convince Michael to change his mind, because this is here's just a taste, okay? I'm gonna read this next one in the style of Elmo from Sesame Street. Okay, yeah, so we're off to a bad start.
Most students who turn out to be shitty adults were shitty kids. I had a student that was a major bully. Total asshole. He's in jail for beating up his girlfriend to a pulp. Am I surprised? Unfortunately, no.
Glad that's over. Okay? Glad that is over. Okay? This is a terrible idea, but I will stand by Michael and his choice and his pleasure. Oh my God. Linda said, Michael, please. Okay. The next one in the style of a white girl, I guess. Not a white girl, but like, you know, that white girl, you know what I'm talking about? Special thanks to Red Raphael Reeds. You know, how many R's can he fit into his username there? So I'm okay. Nothing. It's not about race with this next one. It's just about the Ugg boot wearing girl, where it's gonna get bad. So here we go. Oh, fuck me.
I've taught 4 students who have been involved with murders. 3 killed one guy together, and a 4th shot a person at a hotel party and killed him. I work at an alternative school, so they have behavioral issues. Only one of them struggled academically. They were all class clowns. This one thing that sticks out of all of them was that one of them...
Whoa.
The one thing that sticks out is that all of them struggled to fit in. They felt like they had something to prove. The 3 kids came in day after day.
Whoa. The
3 kids came in the day after they committed the murder. You could tell something was off. They left early, and later we heard what happened. The whole situation is still really clear in my mind. Fucked up stuff.
This guy wasn't even subscribed. Following me. Who do you think you are, Michael? Okay? Who do you think you are? Is this a good idea? Wait a minute. Wasn't Saltiest... Wait a minute. Wait a bing bong minute here. You're telling me that Saltiest Legend subscribed to me before... And now Ria's hosting me. Man, this better be to just interrupt Kyle with all of these damn notifications to stream night tonight. This is why I can't, post that shit on YouTube, because people will be like, what the hell is this? I got grandmas on YouTube watching this. I'm really popular with the grandma demographic on YouTube.
Slap it on some toes.
Didn't he subscribe? No, he just donated a crazy amount. Damn, Michael. $100 and you subscribing too? God damn, Linda. All right, so thank you, Linda. Thank you, Ria, for the host. But Michael, you're going above and beyond here. And you surely can't want this. Let me go into the deleted ones and then read those normally, because some of those might be good. Here's a deleted one that says, I was a teacher's assistant in my senior year of one of my favorite English I was a teacher's assistant in my senior year for one of my favorite English teachers. One kid would never come to class, and when he did, he would be very disrespectful and loud. He would start fights and was all around a troubled kid without a structured family and discipline. Turns out the kid ended up with an attempted murder via a deadly weapon. He got into a fight outside of a convenience store. He tried stabbing the other guy and told the judge he tried to kill him. Although he was a bad kid, I still felt bad for him. I don't know how long he was sentenced for or what prison he went to. Why was this deleted by the moderators? Moderators got a problem with everything.
Slap it on some toes.
Keywork God, you dare. I thank you, my man. So, what a wild night you guys have slotted this up to be. Saltiest Legend, Drunk Monkey, aka Michael, and of course now Keywork God have all subscribed. I appreciate that. I appreciate that. Stay sexy, okay? I got you, man. I got you. Oh, Keywork God told me earlier he was going to do it in the snap, and I thought he just did it at the time, but he chose the best time, the stream time. God damn. But look, I'm scrolling down here because I don't see why they do. Striped moons. What? Hello, striped moons. I don't know why I feel like that, you know, we have a Stripes who goes by Candy Striped. So it's just interesting seeing another Striped. Interesting stuff indeed. As we travel down this, these are deleted posts, so I don't have to do the voices. Unless Michael really wants me to continue. Yeah, she said, "Bu, fuck the voices." Yeah, I'm glad. Okay. Because you know some of the voices that were going to come out of my basket were going to get me in trouble. Butterslice had to come out too. So my wife is a teacher and used to come home complaining about one kid that she taught about 2 years ago. Let's go ahead and make this a little bit bigger. Oh, that's too damn big. Oh boy, you've lost it too. You've lost the entry. You son of a bitch. Is this it? Was that it? Oh fuck no, it's like way lower now. God damn. How did I go up that high? Like, why don't I just type complain? There we go. Used to come home complaining about one kid that she taught about 2 years ago. She said the kid would steal from her classroom and it was pissing her off. Not only was he stealing things, but he was disruptive in class, did horrible on all of his work, and would beat up other kids. He was just an all-around ass. Now, here's the kicker. He had gotten hit at a sports practice like 5 years beforehand and gotten a concussion. Well, the father insisted that he needed an IEP because he still had repercussions from the concussion that caused him to steal and do bad things in school. So every time this little shit would do something bad, the father blamed it on the concussion, whether it be copying someone else's work or beating up another kid. So it was always, "My son should never have to do that on his own. It's because of the concussion. You'll have to forgive him." Well, fast forward to now, he's in jail for armed robbery and assault with a deadly weapon for trying to rob some other kid in class with a sawed-off shotgun. It seems the police didn't care about the concussions. Removed by the moderators. But why? Why y'all removing everything? This one had over 1,000 upvotes. One of my old high school teachers comes to my apartment and has a cup of tea from time to time. We chat about politics, psychology, and overall state of the society these days. When I was her student, I was a real handful, had a father who was in prison, bad home situation, etc. But she took the time because she thought I was intelligent and had a lot of potential. I left school and went right into drug trafficking, which resulted in several years in prison in my 20s, but she kept track of my situation. And now that I've been on the straight and narrow for a few years, we're good friends. We also do volunteer work together, and she's trying to get me involved in some early intervention programs to help other kids who are currently facing the same challenges I did as a child. And here's the confusing part. Removed by the moderators. Now, what do you think is just lodging itself right up the loose anal cavity of these moderators, you know? What's big enough to get caught up there? I wonder. As we go back to the original list. We're at number 17. I taught a student who turned out to be a pedophile. Oh, God. I met him at the age of 16, and he had watched his mom die of cancer. It happened at the start of the school year, and it struck me as strange that he didn't take any time off to grieve for his family. Everybody grieves in different ways. You can't be all like, "Wait a minute, this motherfucker's a criminal." As we continue, though, we had one clash of wills when I took the class outside to compose poetry. He refused and started walking around smacking stuff with a large stick. He refused to go to focus or the focus room and was collected by executive staff. You guys didn't hear that? As I continue. I didn't teach him after that semester, and I was pretty grateful. He was so clever, but difficult to engage. He had that dead-eye stare that I associate with kids with diagnosed depression, eating disorders, or burgeoning personality disorders. The trouble started after he finished school. He didn't complete matriculation, but was heavily involved in sports and coaching. And that is when and where he started grooming younger boys online. Oh my God. Much younger boys, preteens, okay. He was arrested when he was in his early 20s and put on good behavior. He violated his terms of bail in under 6 months and is now in jail. The thing is that I also taught his sister, and although subject to the same significant trauma, she handled it very differently. She is immensely successful and has excelled. I really feel for their dad, who has lost his partner and his son in such a short time frame. I genuinely believe that some people, who get into bad situations in their adult life, yes, their upbringing is a factor, but not all people who become terrible motherfuckers can fall back on their upbringing as having anything to do with it. You can put 2 or 50 people in the same situation for them to grow up in, and not all of them will come out the same. It just varies from person to person. Wowee. Kyle, I'm wondering if the stream chat is too small. Is that better? It might have been okay before. Maybe you don't need to worry about it, Kyle. Let's continue. Number 16. Another one, but he was an instant criminal. A new boy was placed in my class, and he had a twin sister in another class, and he was very bright, but super quiet. He kept to himself, didn't interact with the other students. On a Friday afternoon before the end of the day, he sexually assaulted a younger girl in the school toilets. This younger girl looked just like his twin. It was fucked up. The school covered up the whole incident to avoid negative publicity and protect both kids' identities. I am not sure if charges were pressed, and was only made aware of it because I happened to be on site and near another senior staffer when she took the call and freaked out. I received a phone call the next day telling me not to discuss it. I don't know what happened to the boy or whether it was the first time such an incident had occurred. The student was assaulted. The student he assaulted moved interstate, but then eventually returned to school when she struggled with the incident, although it was literally never mentioned after the day it happened. I only remembered this because I've been rereading an old diary, and I wrote about it there. Oh my God. Pretty scary stuff. I'd like there to be less assault in this list, though. Number 15. I was a substitute teacher for a couple of years. About 2 years after I stopped, one of the kids that I had went to prison for 2 counts of attempted murder. The kid was an asshole, and by far the worst kid that I had to deal with, but nothing that stood out to me as a murderer. He was expelled for hitting a girl, but that was after I left, so I don't know much about it. I would imagine you can't really, figure out, just what's wrong with half of these people. That's the crazy part. Is that the fan making that Weasley little high-pitched bullshit noise? It could be. Number 14. Way too late to the party, but I'll give this a go. I taught a secure facility somewhere in England for about 3 weeks as a temporary stopper until they could find the right candidate, so not strictly went on to commit a crime, more of a had committed a crime but still needed education. We had one boy who was on trial for arson. Nothing intentional. He flicked a cigarette butt and it set fire to the neighbor's car. He'd apparently had a few minor run-ins with the local police once or twice already, so he was pretty much of a goner in terms of getting arrested for it. The worst of the 4 students under our care, though, was a kid who had snapped. He came home one night, and when he was supposed to be staying at friends, to find his stepdad on top of his kid's sister. He didn't warn the guy what was about to happen. He just went to the garage, grabbed a hammer, and went to town on him. He called the police on himself and never denied what he'd done, but wasn't proud of it. In his words, it just needed doing. My man, it really did. That stayed with me. He wasn't even with us because the prosecution were pushing for his incarceration. They just wanted to see how badly he'd snapped and if he was a danger to himself and others. So yeah, not really in the same vein as a lot of these stories, but that's my contribution. Holy fuck. That kinda sucks. Look at everybody lovey-dovey in the stream chat.
I love you all.
I love you. You love me. We wanna have a stream orgy. Not on Twitch, baby. Oh shit, I thought I accidentally forgot to record the YouTube shit, but I clicked the button. I'm a good boy. I've trained myself to jump through a lot of hoops as of the recent banning from YouTube.
'Cause I'm so edgy.
You're right. You kidding me? Number 13. It's opinions. It's expressing any kind of opinion that's gonna get you in trouble these days. All I love to do is watch shit from the 90s where somebody will say something and then think about how that could never be on television or work these days without their Twitter getting blown up by a whole bunch of people going,
Excuse me? How dare you appropriate my culture by saying that you're abusing your privilege? Who do you think you are? Blah, blah, blah. I'm ugly and fat, and I'm gonna take it out on you. You don't know what it's like to be like me and live my life.
As we travel up this list, traveling like a motherfucker holding a basketball across the court. Oh, words, guys. The banter with myself. Number 20. No, Kyle. 20 is the number of posts that you were going to read. 20 teachers who got caught. Nope, that's not what it says. You want it to be a different list, huh? 20 teachers who taught criminals. The Illuminati is listening to you. What? Number 13. Grade 6. A small boy who talked. Hey, you know what? You know, I was gonna go with this other thumbnail for the stream instead, but I went with this one. I like this one a lot. But it could have been this one. Could have been this one, but I went with this one. It could have been this one though. Which one do you like? Tell me what you guys like. What's going on? Tell me, okay? In the comment section below. Or if you're on Twitch, to the side. Or if you're on your phone, below. Grade 6. A small boy who talked tough and ran a mini gang of bigger boys. A poor student. The only thing he could do well was athletics, but wasn't allowed on the teams because his marks were so bad. His mother looked about my age, and I was an undergraduate student teacher. I got that through word of mouth. I never met her because she'd cancel at the last minute any parent-teacher meetings. There were a lot of requests for these meetings. No father figure in his life. Free-range kid in the worst sense. Couldn't respect anything more than 2 years older than him, unless they were black. What? How dare you use that word? I don't live in a world where color exists. Yo, you're gonna kill yourself. I'm sorry. You can't. This is why I'm not on YouTube, is the problem. Because, you know, how funny is it, dude? You can't say anything these days. And the funny thing is, it's not even like something that's inherently wrong. It's like the same robots who are captioning, hey, wait a minute, seasonal mission, retribution, Overwatch. Let's watch it together. I don't give a fuck. I don't give a fuck. What's going on over here?
We arrived in the Venice safe house and set up surveillance on the manor.
Blackwatch mission. Hey, look, it's Genji, Reaper, McCree, and who that? Moira? Interesting. Okay. What is it? Who cares?
Everyone through the getting out of here. We need to head to the extraction point right away.
So much for keeping a low profile.
Relive the Blackwatch mission.
Someone deal with that assassin.
Keep your distance from her. Where do you want me
me to start?
Uh-huh. Whatever. Look, someone notify me when they bring back the fucking Junkrat skin that looks like a demon. And we're gonna continue this story. You know, this kid had no father figure in his life. He's a free-range kid in the worst of senses and couldn't respect anyone that was more than 2 years older than him unless they were black or willing to throw down with him right in there. Throwing down is a colloquialism that refers to fighting with people. Okay, any old man that's listening? You understand? You falling asleep, old man? Wake the fuck up, old man. Special shout out to anybody who's listening to me over the open air. Always a bad idea. Special shout out to anybody who's listening to me over the open air who has a wife or girlfriend or even a boyfriend in earshot that doesn't find any of this slightly funny or amusing and kind of resents the person that's playing it. Hey man, why are you gonna get down on them for enjoying something? They go along with you and all the bullshit that you like and pretend that it's worthy of their time, but they do it for you, okay? So the least you could do is stand behind your man or female or refrigerator. That's comedy, okay? And you know what's even funnier than comedy for me? Ruining the momentum of what might be a witty or even funny expression, a funny thought, by telling you how funny I consider it to be. Oh, speaking of ruining momentum, he knew about how to manipulate people. He definitely manipulated me. And about 10 years later, I found out on the news that he dropped out of high school to do gang things. Sorry, my eyelashes are itching. And was part of an interview study on rehabilitating kids like him. I don't buy any of it because it's the same stuff that he told me. Also in the news article was that he shot some people in a condo and was later killed in a police shootout. Oh my God. It's Dia, the Mexican Queen. Hello everyone. Hope you're all having a lovely night. Hello Mr. Kyle. Hope you had a wonderful day. You could say I had a wonderful dia. I do not get out much, but when I do, it's a nightmare. Number 12. I'm a teacher now. However, I wasn't a teacher when this happened. I was working at a juvenile detention center, which they were saying was a treatment center. We were not a facility that held major offenders. Well, one kid was in there for getting caught with some marijuana. He was in there for like 3 to 6 months, which was harsh for a first-time offender, but the judge was notorious for this kind of thing. We had kids from that area who were sent to us after skipping school a few times. He was really mellow, liked to play card games, and was very mature. When the younger kids would be starting fights or bickering, he would always distance himself and just sort of remove himself from everything. A year after he left us, he was caught trafficking serious amounts of narcotics. He was sentenced to something like 20 years for that, and the various offenses that led up to him getting caught. Well, subs, they keep throwing away these motherfuckers, you know what I mean? I wish they would legalize it, but you know how much money they're making off of it not being legal, so what can we say and what can we do? Oh, sometimes I just get so sad. Michael says the word marijuana is racist. It's true. You know, if you believe anything is offensive hard enough, you can get the world to snap in line these days, man. Go tell YouTube how offended you are by the word tube and how you feel like your culture is being appropriated, and you know, you wanna be able to identify yourself as anything and walk anywhere, bro. What you mean this is a woman's bathroom? I consider myself all genders and none of them at all. Don't categorize me, okay? Do not categorize me, okay? I don't fall into your slots, okay? Go into my bathroom, you see that picture on the wall? Yeah, it says live, laugh, love. Don't categorize me, okay? Not like other people. Jesus Christ. Number 11. I taught a boy who was involved in a gang murder. Wasn't the one who did the actual murdering, but he was part of the plan and found guilty under group enterprise. He was strange, very strange. He was a strange boy. Highly disruptive throughout school, very weak academically, and and one who was always gravitating towards trouble. Well, boys will be boys. You can't just say they're going to grow up to be murderers because they get in trouble a lot. These days, what getting in trouble is like how you decipher who the fuck is cool and who isn't. You know what I mean? That's a really crazy thing to say, I know, because certain things that are technically trouble are not cool. But especially when you're in school, man, it seems like everything is against the rules. It's when I was in school, you know what the rules were? Things that people did that were dope, that they thought to themselves, we can't have kids doing that again. So now it's a rule. You know what I mean? Every cool thing that you did in school was a rule that perhaps wasn't a rule yet that you were breaking. But in the future, if you were to try to do that shit again, they would be breaking the rules because that rule is established now because of you. So every fucking school year, the world gets lamer, and only technology is going to save your corny ass lives. So try to keep that shit. Man, I wish I had the internet as hardcore as we had it. We have it right now when I was in school. Hey, people are messaging on the Discord. Why not dive in there live and see what the hell's going on? Roger leaves a confession. You know I'm streaming, right? Well, Roger leaves a confession here. He says, Kyle, this is for you. So this was junior year of high school. My Little Pony was a show that I just used to relax in school because some people or some friends of mine got me into it. So around right after Thanksgiving break, if I recall, I liked the show, so next time I was in our local mall, I went to Hot Topic and got a Derpy, who is a character, I'm supposing, sticker and put it on a hand-me-down laptop from my mother, with a few gaming stickers as well. A few days later, because of my Asperger's, I got to go to a different room for one of my study halls. One day, this asshole Chris was there. He was sitting down next to me at the table and started saying things along the line of, what are you, a faggot? You fucking gay pony fag? I mean, well, I'm quoting. I'm quoting? Is that okay if I'm quoting it? End quotations? So after about 5 minutes of this, and being dragged past me screaming, I'm gonna fucking kill you, you fucking bleep. Me and the teachers telling him to stop, I snapped, chucked a pillow at him, and he went full rage, chasing me across the room. I was told to leave. The principal and the vice principal came and dragged him into the office, and he got suspended. The teacher came to get me, horror in her eyes, telling me what happened. My laptop, the one that cost my mom $1,500 a few years earlier, was shattered on the floor. I had to bring it to the vice principal's office when Chris left, and because he had a history of being a bully and the school had everything on camera, I pressed charges against him for the destruction of my laptop, and even though I only got $300, I bought a 3DS and Pokemon Y and Animal Crossing, he now has this on his criminal record, and was on probation and not allowed at the school for a few months from it. So I'm not a teacher, but I'm part of the reason a teacher saw that happen. Last I heard, he got arrested for armed robbery. Look, man, don't consider, I hope that there's no, I hope you don't feel remorse. I hope you don't feel upset over it. The type of person who is going to, I want to say, react so passionately over a sticker that somebody else is, reacting to, it's just ignorance. If it wasn't this, it would be something else. Yeah. If it wasn't that, it would be something else. I'm sorry you had to get caught up in this boy's crossfire. I'm sure that he was probably a little bit homosexual himself. Not that there's anything wrong with that. But, when he's questioning himself at such a scary age and blah, blah, blah. And he's projecting all of that, bullshit onto everybody else. What a shame. What a true shame. Sarah's Animal Palooza. What? But yeah, seriously, that's a terrible situation. But again, if it wasn't something, it would be something else. It's kind of like when your parents are really mad about something and it seems like a pin drop set their ass off. It really doesn't matter what the thing was. They were going to get crazy anyway. Bing bong. As we arrive at number 10 on this, the list of 20 teachers who taught criminals, 10 reads as follows. I taught an alternative school for a year, and I had several students who later ended up in jail for everything from robbery to murder. Most of them weren't surprising. These were kids who clearly had no family structure or discipline at home. And almost all of them were affiliated with gangs in some form or fashion. We even had middle school kids jumped into the gangs at school. But alternative schools get almost no support from anyone but the police. It's basically a step away from jail. Shit. The one who committed murder killed a pizza delivery driver over a drug deal. He was actually somewhat surprising because he was far from the worst kid that I dealt. He was a skinny, nerdy looking kid with braces, but he was hanging out with all of the hard gang members too. I don't know, maybe he felt some kind of thing that he had to prove to himself. We can't rationalize murder out of murderers, man. You guys trying to waste a day trying to figure that shit out? Don't worry about it. For real, some people get so emotional that they might as well become a different person. You ever hear about people getting blackout drunk, but then they find out that they were actually doing things when they thought that they weren't conscious? It's like they're a different person. It's like somebody else has taken the reins of their body. It's like a Hulk situation, you know? You want to be Bruce Banner, you want to have all your doctorates, but when the Hulk comes out, and that's that. These murderers, man, some of these robbers and, you know, thieves, when they get the fire in their eyes, they're like an animal backed into a corner, and they feel that maybe if they just take care of whoever's in front of them, then they'll be able to make it, you know? They're not thinking into the future. They're only thinking about now. They're not thinking at all, you know? You ever hear about some people getting into a shootout with the police or going to jail for life over like $20 in a register or some shit like this? Something really ignorant where it's like, motherfucker, if you thought about this, of course it wasn't going to be that easy. Talking about people showing up to a bank when the armored truck comes and all kind of shit like that. What the fuck were you thinking, dude? Play one video game in your life and ask yourself, you're in a crew of 2 dudes and you're going to an armored truck that's going to a bank. Do you think that there's at least a person that you're going to encounter who is strapped? Yes. How long do you think before the police arrive at a bank, dude? But people aren't thinking, and that's the bottom line. People don't think. When you ice that cake, that really disgusting tasting turd-inspired cake, with the fact that some people, and I'm dead serious, go to watch people die right now, some people do not value human life the way that we do. To some people, like, whatever, life is life. Step on a person's neck the way that they would step on an ant and not feel bad about it after, you know? We can't get into their heads, and that's what makes the case study so horrifying. But here we go up this list to number 9. I volunteered a couple of times at an alternative school. One of my pastors was the principal there, so our church youth group would help out from time to time. I was in a 4th grade classroom and was tasked with helping a boy learn to read. It was basic stuff: cat, dog, ran, etc. He had a task to spell cat and dog and couldn't or wouldn't try to see the difference. He said he'd never need to know how to read, so why should he? I told him I'd draw some pictures of what the words were next to the words so he could try to memorize them. And I had said something along the lines of, if you try to make me do this, he said something along the lines of, if you try to make me do this, I'll slit your throat and fuck your corpse. I am a 275-pound dude, I told the teacher, who told me not to worry, that they checked him daily to make sure he's not carrying a knife since he's had a few incidents. Not sure what happened to the kid. Nothing good. She'd also previously told me that he wasn't allowed pencils or pens and was only allowed to write with crayons due to his violent outbursts. If he's still alive, he'd be around 25 now. Jesus Christ. What the fuck kind of 4th grader is thinking things to himself like, I don't need to learn how to read? What the fuck? What the fuck kind of 4th grader thinks I don't need to ever learn how to read? What kind of background is he coming from? Jeez. Number 8. I was a school teacher for 15 years and I have taught 2 murderers and a pedophile. You keeping score here, teach? One was a young girl. She killed another student at a party. Her life was ruined in one stupid moment. So it was emotional, I'm supposing. I think, though, she is most likely out now, because she's a woman, but don't know where she is. Probably in some kind of witness protection program, you know? Tried to make it seem like it wasn't her fault. I was drunk, Judge. I'm so sorry. Look at these titties. Privilege. But treat me equally at the same time. At school, she didn't listen. Bad attitude. Her dad is a gang member, so she was raised to be ruthless. Oh my God. He was a cheeky but nice boy. If you treated him well, he would give the same respect, but hell, you fucked with that, that was it. He had a very low tolerance, did not manage his anger well. He was always very courteous to me. So it was sad to hear he killed an elderly man after the old man yelled at him. So senseless. He never really had a choice. His older brother is in jail for murder as well. The pedo was such a shock. Very popular boy at school, insanely talented, never had an issue with him, so really shocked that he went to jail for this. Oh boy. Ooh. Number 7, okay? One of my former students murdered 2 people. 2 people? Apparently on a drug deal gone wrong. He is now serving life in prison. I had him in 1st grade. He was a sweet kid, highly intelligent. Seriously, he was reading on a 3rd grade level, despite the fact that he came in late every day, not just 10 or 15 minutes late. Usually he would come in at around 10 o'clock. The dad was not in the picture. He was in prison for gang activity, and the mom was unconcerned about his education. I tried everything I could to impress upon her just how intelligent her son was, and that he had a very bright future, but that he needed to be in school. She honestly didn't seem to care. He later dropped out when he was in high school, joined a gang, and things just snowballed. Such a goddamn waste. Yeah, whatever, teach. The bottom line, guys, is we don't know the big picture with a lot of these motherfuckers. We cannot see the big picture. And odds are, in a situation where his mom didn't really give a fuck from that early of an age, then there was some shit going on that we had no idea about. And he may have felt backed up against a wall. He may have felt cornered like an animal, and maybe that he didn't have the luxury of being able to stay in education, you know? A lot of people do have the time, have the luxury of being able to just go about things the way in which they want to. They have supportive people around them. They have parents that are willing to fund them financially and be supportive emotionally. And anything that fucks up is pretty much entirely the kid's fault. But not every child is in a situation like that. Sometimes the world is thrust upon people at an age before they're allowed to handle it properly. So many people either run to get the fuck away from their life as a whole, or they try to take shortcuts. And let's face it, drug dealing, running with a gang, trying to steal, trying to rob, do all of this bullshit, to many people that's a shortcut. In the same way a lot of us can sit here and go, man, you shouldn't drink that much alcohol. Obviously, it's not only bad for your body, but it can take you to a place that's blah, blah, blah. For some people, they don't regard drinking as something that they have a choice in. They need to get away from their life. They need to escape. They need to not think about reality. They need to just literally black the fuck out for a small amount of time so that when they go back at it, they'll not have everything on their shoulders. Even if it takes a while for that shit to finally sit back down on their shoulders, you know, maybe by that point they'll be able to drink more. Everybody needs an outlet, but not everybody has access to an outlet. And that's the sadness about this. But I'm not justifying, you know, criminal activity. I'm just saying that it's harder for some people to maintain something as simple as just staying in school. I get it. Number 6, I had an 8th grader who was a jerk. He wouldn't listen, constantly disrupted the class, and put in little to no effort, was a bully to other students. Unfortunately, our administrator at the time was a pushover, so nothing ever happened. When we would refer him, or anyone else, I was looking for the end of this parentheses, but it never ends. There's no end bracket. Brilliant. One day he came back from the office and I overheard him telling a classmate when asked what happened, that the principal gave him some candy and sent him back to class. Cut to 6 years later, I see his face on the news being arrested for a gang murder. Not the least bit surprised. You can say that. But how do you know from an 8th grade what the fuck? Holy bing bong, man. Somebody said the principal probably didn't want to end up in the headlines either. You damn right, baby. Y'all in the workplace and somebody is not right. The last thing you go is, boy, you need to get help, okay? Something is wrong with you and you need to get help. What are you going to do? Come in and shoot up the place? What are you trying to get yourself on the list? You bring that guy some candy bars? You know what I mean? You give him some cool looks and go, man, you a cool motherfucker. You know what I'm talking about? No matter, look, sometimes with how crazy and stupid people are in the stream chat, you know, it hasn't happened at all really since we started Twitch. But back when we were on YouTube, man, oh my God, sometimes I couldn't help myself but just try to wonder what the hell is wrong with some of these people. Oh my God, it's making me want to like use the bathroom. Like it's literally working something up and okay, I got, oh my God. Oh, right back. What the fuck? Okay. Oh my God. Oh boy. In my years of streaming, I can only say that that's probably happened 3 times. But so profound. So profound was the contents of my stomach trying to evacuate my body as I was talking about, oh boy. Oh, Booze Prime says on the 3rd day he has risen. I am so sorry. What is Dia saying? Lo siento, no complete la primera parte de lo que dije y lo Listen. Oh my God. I just returned from the bathroom and I can't even sit down properly. I will be honest in saying that I'm wiping some sweat off my face. It was that intense in there. Okay? I can honestly say that if you guys were not here, I would be in the shower right now. And, whoo, my God. I am so sorry about it. The joke that I was trying to make before I genuinely had to use the bathroom was that many of the people who used to frequent the stream chat back in YouTube days were sometimes in competition for the biggest, well, you know what I'm trying to say. Maybe with what I just sent down into the sewer, if there's Wi-Fi good enough, they'll find another YouTube video to spread. Oh my God, the Hershey squirts. Sarah, as we continue. Woo! This is the... Oh my God. As we continue, okay? Thank you for the cheer. As we continue. We're going... what the hell?
Sayale, I've been watching you since you just did TIFUs like a year ago. And you've helped me so fucking much. I have a visual processing disorder and Reddit's layout makes it hard for me to process words. Listening to your list plus the comedy makes them good shit. Keep up the good work.
Nado-san or Nado-san, I appreciate that and I appreciate you. And I'm glad that this has a place for you because you're exactly the type of person that I do this for. And I hope that you never ever feel left out, whether it's something as silly as this or anything in your everyday life. And I hope that that processing disorder doesn't come between you and anything that you feel like you're missing out on, man. I thank you and people like you for being with me on this journey, and I apologize for that gargantuan disruption. I couldn't help it. I couldn't help it. And you want to know the scariest part of that? You want to know the scariest part of what just happened? In the beginning of the stream, Michael Palermo donated $100, and I freaked out in a way where I had to immediately try to catch myself because I was going to, quote, lose my shit. I then remarked, bro, I'm not wearing a diaper. You're gonna make me shit myself. But we've said enough, we've dwelled enough. Number 5 on the list of 20 teachers who taught criminals. What a list. Bing bong, okay? I taught 3 students that together went on to commit at least one crime, at least locally high-profile murder. Probably others, and will likely die in prison as a result of them. 2 of them are brothers, Adam and Brian. It became apparent pretty early on that their house had drug issues and that there was some serious neglect going on. Physical abuse too? From little things that the boys let slip. They rarely had lunches, never had winter coats, and their shoes regularly were being glued or duct tape together. They talk about fights at their house, drug use, drunk parents, all sorts of shit. We reported everything the entire year that they were in my classroom, trying to get some kind of intervention, but it never turned into anything. As students, they were entitled and did things like cutting in line or taking someone else's candy. They were rowdy, but not entirely stupid. I think the total lack of discipline at home, never having consequences for not doing homework, was a large contributing factor to how they ended up. It's very important that people learn boundaries, man, because they could go anywhere. They could go anywhere when they don't understand that you ain't supposed to trip. Well, Adam was not the brightest bulb. He was a follower for sure, and a little bit of a bully. He'd posture to show off, but if you pressed him, he'd back down. Never had problems with him in classes. After the first week, just in the halls or recess or at the bus stops, he acted tough, but at least when I knew him, it was a fairly... Well, damn, Jesus.
Get yo shit together next time, my dude. Adult diapers are cheap.
Well, Jesus, why don't you fund some of that adult diaper for Kyle fund, so I never had to get up. I will do an all-day stream if we make it to the adult diaper Kyle fund. I am not wearing diapers. It's a joke. It is a joke. It is a joke. God, when you think about aging sometimes, doesn't it scare you, man? When you think about aging, I made a title fucking thumbnail, man. My man Alan Rickman and the Severus Snape role in the Harry Potter movies. Big deal for many of us that were, at the right age when those books came out. And my man Alan Rickman is dead, dude. How old am I? Every day is slapping me in the face like a hot ball sack. Anyway, thank you, Jesus. Brian was always kind. When neither of the other two co-murderers were around anyway, he was a really quiet kid, a thinker, but he stuck by his brother like glue. I guess they didn't have much else going for them. Nobody else would watch their back, so they were 100% together in pretty much everything. I really hoped Brian ended up in a better place. He was brighter, kinder, and patient. He liked to read. I had hope with him. I thought if any of them had a chance, it was Brian. And if it weren't for the third kid that they fell in with, Carl, he probably would have. Carl was the problem child. He had a file thicker than a dictionary. I saw him stab a kid for no reason, and then say it was because he wanted to see what would happen. We had to remove all scissors from our classrooms because he liked to cut things. He threw a desk once, mid-story time, no apparent trigger, just got up, threw it at a girl, and then laughed when she started crying. He was a nightmare on the bus, on the playground, so on. He had a recess duty assigned to keep an eye on him, because whether he directly did it or not, kids got hurt when he was around. He talked about killing animals, going hunting, and about doing things like taking people into the woods, getting them really lost, and then leaving them to die. He was a creep. He liked to pick on little girls, not the ones in his grade, but 4 to 5 years younger. He'd corner them and bully them to tears, sometimes physically snatching at their dresses or pulling their hair. He was awful, and constantly in and out of the principal's office. Adam worshipped Carl, or followed him around like it anyway. And Brian, well, stuck with his older brother, or with his brother. It was so sad to see this happening. They all lived in the same area and knew one another outside of school, and I always got the impression that Brian was afraid of Carl. I know some of the other teachers in the building were. Hell, I'll even admit that I was too. I was on constant guard with him in the class. He, even in elementary school, was capable of doing some serious permanent harm, and we all knew it. Together, while still in high school, they abducted and killed a classmate. Jesus Christ. Well, this is the first one that's really given us the creeps.
You know what I'm talking about.
Holy bing bong, I apologize for that departure. I'm really sorry. On YouTube, I'm gonna have to listen to the video and then add a kind of jump cut or something. Do I care? Yeah, you care. I love my YouTube watchers. You guys are sexy. Thanks for liking the video and being amazing. You do what you do. And I'll be on Twitch when you feel like you want more live me. Or you could come for the atmosphere of the stream chat. Look, there's 32 people here and not all of them are talking. Hey, guys, do me a favor if you're here for real. Do me a favor if you're here for real. And everybody, all 30 of you if you can, just say anything in the stream chat. I literally think if you type just the letter H, that it counts towards an achievement of having like people talking at the same time. So if you can hit me with a lowercase h, you know I'd appreciate that. Mil Rockio, thank you, my man. What a dope motherfucker. Mari S H, not bad. Obsidian H, wow, dope. Wow, can you believe that? Wow, can't believe it. Oh my God, look at what's happening. To capital A, who the hell are you? Capital H, Jesus, what are you doing? What are you? Lowercase b, a D now? Come on, lowercase. You guys are you're doing it. You guys are doing it. Thank you. RouteNet. Wonder. Banal Bulgarian. It's nice to see you all. Thank you, Sarah. You know, I appreciate this. Do you think it's immediate? Do you think that those achievables are immediate balls? Let's go check it out. Let's go check it out, horse. Okay. Give me a second now. Achievements now. Where's the thing? Wait a minute. Who's that? Oh, Sarah just started following. That's pretty sexy. Thank you. Appreciate that, Sarah. I won't make a comment about titties right now. Have 50? No, get 25 people. Well, thank you, Sean Tanos. It says get 25 people talking at the same time. I've done that, right? That's what this is. Come on. Maybe it takes a while to go through. Well, damn, Edgar YouTube, I'm guessing YT stands for. As we continue this list, so I can knock it. Oh, I have an episode of American Dad open. I wonder what's going on in it.
We had a deal!
Oh, somebody else is subscribing, RouteNet. Thank you, my man. You're amazing. I really appreciate you hitting that heart and following the hell out of me. Oh, yeah. As we continue up this list and complete it, because there are only 3 left on the list of 20 teachers who caught or taught criminals. I don't know, I want it to be caught so bad. Number 3. I've taught some kids who turned out pretty rotten, and you could usually tell by their conduct during high school. However, one that sticks was these 2 lovely siblings. Great students, polite, well-mannered, and tried hard academically. Both graduated. It turns out that in their final years, they joined their father in distributing crystal meth. Straight from high school to prison. Oh boy. Well, that kind of sucks. Or it definitely sucks. Forgive me. Number 2, man. Let me see what there's no healthy responses to that. Let's get out of here. Number 2. When I first started working as an English teacher at public elementary school in Tokyo, one of the teachers was telling me how the class's pet dwarf hamster, Totoro, had gotten out of his cage and accidentally been stepped on. He was a little guy, so it wasn't exactly a bloody scene, but nobody knew who did it, and all the kids were sad. A few weeks later, one of the other class's pet guinea pig got out of his cage and was stepped on as well. Like stomped flat. Very messy, and someone had clearly used some tissues to clean off their shoes before leaving the room. All of the students wear the same kind of school slippers. Intriguing. So it's not like we could go CSI on the situation and figure it out by shoe print, but one of the other teachers noticed that one girl in her class, a 5th grader, had some suspicious reddish smears on the edges of one of her shoes. The girl was called to the office. The parents were called. The next day, the parents come in and explain to the principal that they were moving their daughter to a new school. Basically, she's not your problem anymore, so don't bother trying to call in child counselors or anything. So rather than make a big deal out of all of it, the school let it all slide because the girl was gone. A few years later, there was a local news story about a junior high school girl who had assaulted another student. It sounded like she'd pushed the other girl down some stairs and then kicked her. They didn't publish names because she's a minor, but word traveled down the grapevine pretty damn quickly that it was our former student. I'm not sure what happened to her after that. Hey, I don't mean this in a cruel way, but listen to me. I've seen a lot of shit when it comes to Asian, mainly Japanese people, and when the Japanese get cruel, baby, it's on a whole nother level. It is on a whole nother level. And I've seen some girls do some shit where it's like, God damn. What do you get from stomping a hamster flat? What do you get from that? Man, as we continue and polish off the rest of this list, that's what she said. My first year of teaching, I had a student who was eventually arrested for sexual assault with his much younger sister. Oh God, he was extremely polite, well-spoken, and hard-working. I was completely stunned. Someone says my brother was polite, well-spoken, and hard-working. He was also a narcissistic, physically and sexually abusive asshole who regularly beat the crap out of me and sexually abused me for a couple of years. Those masks are pretty good. Sorry this had to happen to this chick. I'm conflicted now because I want to give her an upvote, but I don't want to upvote the story of the brother abusing her. Where do I go? What do I do? Oh man, guys, I am sorry about that. Let us get some eye bleach here. See if we can just get rid of a lot of the... What sucks to me is that animals alone aren't eye bleach, man. There's got to be like others. Can you not with this music? What year is this? Nico Cass is following. Thank you. Oh yeah, I love it because it looks like it's a selfie. I'm in love with this picture.
Yeah, everybody posts up. We're gonna put this shit on Instagram.
I bleach FTW.
Why, thank you, Prelude. My man. I love this picture. They need to hit us with more stuff than just animals, though. You know what I'm talking about?
Oh, look how dumb he looks. With his, oh, he's so cute.
Alright. I think he wants a nut. Oh, let's get out of here. Okay, let's see what's on the front page. Make sure nobody's dying or getting shot. Damn, Lady Sweetheart. I appreciate that. Looks like everything's fine. Far Cry just became Ubisoft's second biggest launch ever. Oh no. They have an infographic. We love those. I'd love to see one of these of Monster Hunter. 8,000 players ambushed by skunks. 38 miles total distance of shovels thrown. I don't throw shovels or get attacked by skunks, and I'm just about ready to finish this game. Of course, Boomer is the most popular Fang for Hire, dude.